Look at this, into the gravel. This is amazing here. Of course, nothing should surprise us anymore. Look at this woman. She goes off into the grass and then veers back on. I mean, she can go anywhere she wants right now. Look at this, turns around. Oh, now this is not good. She's going to come right towards officers. That is a threatening act right there. Look at this, threads the needle between those CHP officers. This talk about, look at this, back against drivers that are coming southbound here. Vehicles pulling off into the shoulder just to get away from her. She comes back underneath this bridge. Maybe she's going to come back to the 133. She's under the bridge right now, but here she comes now back southbound again. Boy, CHP, you know, that's a tough choice for them. They can try to pursue her, but, you know, she's going to be coming head to head with them. Now she goes through the grass over towards the northbound side here. This is just unbelievable. If she's trying to make a statement, she's certainly making one right now. Boy, there's something you only see in a movie right there. It's almost like Keystone Cops. Look at this. Comes back northbound. Who's pursuing who here? Now she heads back southbound. Directions all over the place here. Again, just to give you an idea where this is. 241 expressway here, right at the intersection with the 133. And at this point, she knows that her moments are numbered here. Eventually, she's going to go into custody no matter what. Look at this. Comes up behind a car that's on the shoulder. Boy, I tell you what, you put yourself in into the position of the officers there, and you try to think about how they're going to deal with a situation like this. And the situation's really tough here, but just remember that those officers are trained to protect officer safety here. So she's putting herself into positions. Look at this, comes out. Oh, her car takes off without her. Look at this, she jumps back in the car. The car wanted to get out of there. Now she goes southbound again. Here comes CHP. They're going to try to pit her because the speeds are low enough. Look at this, they spin her out. That's great. They take the bumper off the car. And now here come these CHP officers. They're going to try to, they try to pin her in there. She keeps going here, southbound 241. That officer did a great job of spinning her out, but unfortunately she was just able to negotiate right out of it. And you better believe now that she knows that they mean business and that she is probably not going to be stopping too much at this point. I can virtually guarantee you that, because she knows that once she does, those CHP officers are going to try to take advantage of the circumstances here. Now we continue southbound on the 241. How is that for crazy, guys? Well, we are in the middle of the Kenneth Hahn State Park. I do not know what this vehicle is wanted for. Oh, look at these. Comes to a stop right here. This is this park that is in the middle of basically La Brea and La Cienega up on the top of the hill here. They've got LAP. Oh, my goodness. He comes out, and he's now, I believe, southbound on La Brea, headed towards Stocker. This is amazing. The area unit has been overhead guiding the units trying to get this guy, and they thought for sure that this pursuit was going to end here in the Kenneth Hahn State Park area, but now he's headed westbound Stocker, headed back down towards La Cienega. And again, LAPD overhead in addition to their ground units. Now this guy, again, this is a pursuit that's being conducted by the West LA division of LAPD. This guy has been driving just like you see here, wrong lanes of traffic, and this has been happening over and over again as he made his way through West LA into Culver City, eventually back over towards the Mid-City area. That we believe possibly one or both of his front tires are blown out. There are units that are in the pursuit, LAPD units that are pit qualified that have been asking to use the pit maneuver.
That rear wheel is, you can tell the rear wheel is totally on rims there.
That was almost a collision there.
This is big trouble right here. Wow, look at this. Now he's on the, he jumps out of his car. He's on the northbound lanes of La Cienega, just south of Stocker. There's an area unit overhead. He can't go anywhere there. He's going to head back northbound towards Stocker. Again, the area unit's overhead. There are numerous law enforcement officers in the area, but unfortunately most of them are stuck in the Kenneth Hahn Park right now. So now it's pretty much a chase for the area unit to keep an eye on this guy, but this guy's moments are numbered here. It's just a matter of time before they get this guy. Look, there's an officer with a gun drawn right there as he takes off running back northbound on La Cienega. Here comes one of those West LA units. Look at this. They try to cut him off right there. The officer goes off the side of the road. The guy now running back eastbound towards Stocker, and this is something else here. Here's this officer now, and finally, after an incredible pursuit here, this suspect is in custody. But
and we've seen him blow through every single red light and stop sign, not even really stopping.
Oh my gosh, did you see that? That California Highway Patrol officer just went right into the building there. And I'm going to go back to the pursuit just a second here, but that CHP officer is well inside that building. That is something we have never seen before.
Alex Calder, News Chopper 4 over the scene. Alex, what does the traffic look like?
You do not even want to know. It is, well, it is really honestly some of the worst traffic we've seen in a long time. First, let's set the stage here. This bridge that you see, a bridge that was under construction across the 15 freeway here. It was the extension of Ranchero Road, and at some point here, this bridge, which is mostly rebar and plywood right now, it was awaiting the concrete pour stage, which will be coming next. This wood caught fire here and has systematically made its way through a good portion of this bridge. Caltrans telling us that this bridge is really going to need to be torn down and rebuilt completely here. But in the meanwhile, that's the 15 freeway underneath. They had big water problems here earlier. Right now, you see one of the San Bernardino County ladder trucks finally with a vantage point where they could put some water on it. But this was not the picture that we showed you earlier today. They were having a hard time getting equipment into position because of the traffic, and as well as these engines like the one that you see right here, they only hold about 500 gallons of water, and that water ran out very quickly. You see the water tender truck right there. That's a water tanker truck. Those water tenders can hold anywhere between 2,000 to 4,000 gallons, and those were immediately dispatched to the scene to try to replenish the water that the engines were losing here. But needless to say, while that was all taking place, the bridge continued to burn, and now you can see that a good portion of the bridge now has actually collapsed onto the freeway. Of course, this is going to be a very long closure here, both directions of the 15, and you asked about traffic here. I'm going to pan off and show you this shot, and I'll tell you, this is one of the worst that we've seen in some time. This is the traffic coming up the northbound side, coming up from San Bernardino, and look at this traffic. It goes on as far as we can possibly see here, so it's at least 10 or 20 miles of backup, honestly, all the way back down into Devore and beyond, and a lot of these cars just have nowhere to go. The good news is that the frontage roads are open here, and so you can make your way through on the frontage roads. I'll give you a look at that right here, but of course, those frontage roads are packed with all of the cars and trucks trying to make their way through here. Look at the frontage roads right there. They're virtually at a standstill. So this is going to be an extended closure, and unfortunately, there are thousands upon thousands of motorists that are just stuck in the backup here. Caltrans is in unified command with CHP and with San Bernardino County right now. They're trying to really keep this all moving forward here, but for right now, you're looking at one of the biggest traffic nightmares we've seen here in Southern California in a long time here, and there's still a lot of wood left to burn. One last thing before I let you go, the winds here playing a big factor. 20 to 30 mile-an-hour winds. You can see the smoke just being blown around there by the winds. Not as windy to the west as we were making our way in, but right here, the winds are really picking up here. So that is going to be another big factor in this terrible traffic story here. We wish we had better news for you folks, but unfortunately, this 15 is going to be shut down possibly for days here. That's the latest over Hesperia, over the I-15. I'm Alex Calder, live in News Chopper 4. Back to you in the studio.
Now, an accident in South LA. Alex Calder live in Sky 5 with the latest.
A story you'll only see here on KTLA. This is a terrible crash involving a semi and a car right here next to where the Blue Line tracks come through here. It is at 48th Place and Long Beach Boulevard here, and you see LA City Fire desperately trying to get access to the person that was behind the wheel of that car that you see there, the car underneath the big rig, and now they have brought in the LA City Fire Heavy Rescue Unit, Heavy Rescue 56. That's that truck that you see right there in the front portion of your shot. We talk about these guys all the time. They are skilled in trying to get access to places here where people are trapped, and that is what they're going to need to do, is lift that big rig up so that they can get access to this driver. Boy, you look at that shot there, hard to imagine that anyone is alive in there, but apparently they do have a driver in there, and we believe that he is alive, and they're doing everything they can to get to him. If you look off to the right side of the picture right here now in the center portion, that's the front of the car that is completely underneath the cab of that truck. That is quite the rescue that is ongoing here. Hopefully the driver will be okay. In the meanwhile, Long Beach Boulevard here is shut down. Also, the Blue Line service intermittent right now while this rescue is ongoing. That is the very latest from overhead in Sky 5. Back to you in the studio.
All right, we want to take you up to News Chopper 4. Right now, you can see there is a dog running down the freeway in Bell. Alex Calder.
This dog has gone all the way from the number 1 lane to the number 3 lane, and we've watched amazing work from other motorists on the freeway here who have been trying to get this dog to get off of the roadway here. One of the most valiant attempts there that unfortunately did not pan out was a motorcyclist who literally got right up alongside this dog. Let me give you the wide shot here to give you an idea of what we're looking at here, and you can see that armada of cars that have been doing what they can to try to protect this dog. Again, right now everyone's been kind of playing ball in terms of being safe here and letting this dog kind of have the road, but unfortunately, as you can imagine, it's doing a real number on traffic here, and it gets on the southbound lanes of the 710 as you make your way out of Commerce and down towards Bell and point south here. So hopefully this little pooch will get off the roadway here and let everyone get on their way, but right now it's certainly doing a real number to traffic. Back to you in the studio.
It certainly seems like those 3 cars in particular are really trying to help buffer the animal there.
It's been really, really interesting to watch, and this dog has just been so resistant to the idea of getting forced off the roadway. Now, one of the problems right now where this dog is at is there appears to be a concrete rail there, so the dog really can't get past the rail either. Here's a real good opportunity. Let's hope he does it. It's the moment of truth here. And right now, literally, the 710 freeway stopped, and the dog has decided, nope, he's going to keep on going.
You know,
pretty amazing to watch.
As pet owners know, you can imagine just how confused that dog is. And one thing we don't want to see happen is somebody get out and try to chase the dog. That would be extremely foolish. So we kind of continue. This looks like an embankment where he might be able to get up, or she.
Yeah, the dog certainly has an opportunity to get off the freeway here. We're not going to need an off-ramp for this dog to exit here, but as you can see, the dog almost a little confused in terms of what to do here. So here we go. Here's, again, another motorist that has pulled over. He's got the door open. The dog says, well, I'm not really too hot on that idea here, but let's just give you a look at what this is doing, and look at this traffic here as people are stopping to kind of figure out what's going on here. Everyone's doing a great job of really trying to corral this dog here. Look, here's someone coming out of their car right here.
Don't do that. Anyway, I want everybody to know we have contacted the CHP, and that's very foolish to go running on the freeway after the dog like that. I know that that individual means well, but that is not what you should be doing.
Yeah, now we see another driver or passenger out of the car. At least the dog, well, up in the embankment and back down.
See,
again.
the dog is just going to keep running.
Yeah, this is
at one point he's probably going to think it's a game out there. Oh, no.
Wow.
Somebody zoomed
Now, that car looked yeah, as you can imagine, there's probably a host of different attitudes about what's happening here. Some motorists are probably frustrated, wanting to get out of there, while other people are obviously compassionate to the dog's plea here.
What needs to happen, if the CHP gets there, they'll have a traffic stop the whole freeway, and then take care of the matter. And for drivers to jump out of their vehicles like that or zoom in and out of traffic to try to stop the dog is not a good idea at all. Yeah, and however, they can't hear us, so.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately, the drivers at the back of this pack have no idea that there's an animal on the loose where the traffic jam is either.
Right. Now, we've seen these before in the past where a dog has wandered onto the roadway, and the good news here is as long as everyone's patient and the efforts here continue like what you're seeing, the dog will eventually walk down. Ooh, that's close, but the dog will end up.
We don't want to see that.
The dog will end up walking down the off-ramp here eventually, so it's just going to be a matter of time. Oh, this is just a tough to watch because the dog, oh, here we go. This might be the moment where the dog, oh, so close.
Yeah, see? And it's just so foolish because somebody is going to get hurt the longer this goes on if they continue trying to chase the dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Alex, can you tell us where the nearest exit is here?
Oh.
We're down, well, let's see, we're north of Slauson by the looks of things here. You know, and I'll tell you the other thing that of course, gives us pause here, too, is that the concern is that someone who's not really paying attention could end up running into the back of someone else, too, and that would be a real shame, too.
Especially there where the freeway narrows down, you know, like that. It goes from what?
Right, exactly.
4 lanes down,
now
5 to 4 lanes.
I should probably mention, too, that if we do see the dog head into lanes of traffic, we'll pull the shot out here, so I don't want our viewers to see anything terrible happen here. But by the looks of things, as long as the motorists here keep doing this great job of just kind of running a virtual fence line there, if you will, and they keep the dog in that shoulder area there, hopefully this dog is just going to run down to an off-ramp. The next off-ramp, unfortunately, from what I'm seeing, though, is some distance now. We're still about a quarter mile. So this dog, well, here might be a great opportunity. If the dog can get behind that K-rail.
There he goes, but he's going forward.
Yeah, but the dog keeps trying to run forward, which is the problem. And Alex is really, really good at this, and we're not going to show anything on the air that you shouldn't see.
Okay, he's up the embankment now.
Goes up the embankment. That's good. But
well, that might be that might be what we were hoping for. Let me give you a quick look at the traffic while the dog is out of the way here, and just show you that this is definitely causing real troubles here for people heading south.
What's it like on the other side of the embankment there? If the dog goes over the embankment, is that just open space there? Or
I believe it's the LA River for sure. Where did let's see here. What's they're all running up there trying to get down. Is it down a little farther this way here? Oh, yeah, here you go. So the dog is now kind of ended up on the berm there and is now paralleling. In fact, let me give you a look here. That's the LA River
there as well. So that makes
because fences run along the freeway, so the dog's not going to get over into the LA River. But
right, but at this point, we just hope that the dog does not decide to venture back down towards the roadway. That's the concern here. And these motorists, you got to hand it to them. They're doing a great job. They really don't want to see this dog end up getting back into lanes of traffic. So right now, there is someone there trying to kind of coax the dog to come over. This girl, great effort there by on her part and everyone else up here. But again, it's a sketchy situation because it's just going to take one thing that spooks that dog, and the whole cycle starts over again.
Well, I suppose if there's one good factor, it's because it is rush hour and traffic on the freeway is going to be slower than it normally would be. But I also suspect that at any time, like I said, I know we've put in a call, and maybe others have as well, to the Highway Patrol, and they should be showing up at some point to try to resolve this.
We can see this driver here sort of creeping toward the dog, and there are at least people down here at the bottom of the embankment. It looks like she's making good headway there.
That is the dog whisperer right there, and this may be the end of this, well, we'll call it a foot chase for lack of a better way to describe it. We just I've never really seen this in a long, long time, but this dog is, in the hands of at least a well-wisher here along the side of the 710 freeway. Look at all these people. This is certainly a great moment for them. Kudos to them for at least trying to do the right thing, and thankfully in this case, no accidents. Or what I can tell you, the southbound 710, if you're heading down to Long Beach, it's jammed coming away from the 5. We'll throw it back to you guys in the studio.
Absolutely.
Well, what we like is a story that has a happy ending, and this one does, and we want to appreciate Alex Calder and his coverage of that for us. And like Alex said, I can't remember the last time we've had one of these. It has been some time, although a situation like this may happen quite often, and we don't get a chance to see it, but this afternoon we did with a successful conclusion. And we're going to be right back with more. And Fritz has got the forecast. It's all coming up. You're watching the NBC4 News at 6.
We want to get right to Alex Calder. He is in Sky 5 with the latest. Alex.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you, if you make your way through Simi Valley, headed westbound this morning, you look off to the hillside there to the north and west, you're going to see this fire very clearly. It's burning in 2 different areas now. Let me tell you where those are. The first one, an area that was actually burning yesterday as well, that's the Happy Camp Canyon Regional Park area. That's either to the north and west of Simi or to the north and east of Moore Park there, kind of in the open space there. That fire continues to burn, actually a pretty good line of fire that's just slowly creeping its way off to the east. It hasn't made it north of Simi Valley yet, but it certainly could if the winds prove to be troublesome today. The other part of the fire that we're concentrating on, and that's the area you're looking at right here, is what we'll call the western flank. This area now is to the north and west of the community of Moore Park. It's burning west of Grimes Canyon and is westbound headed towards Balcom Canyon. In fact, we heard the Ventura County Fire Department not long ago ask for the CHP to come in and shut down Balcom Canyon. They were reporting that winds down in the canyon areas are really starting to pick up, and as a result they're worried that that fire is going to go ahead and make a march towards the west as the winds pick up here. Again, it started near Fillmore and has burned over the ridge line towards the community of Moore Park, and that is the fire that you're seeing here. In fact, as we pan over, this is an area that's a little bit closer to Fillmore and Santa Paula, although it is still well up on the ridge line now. It looks like most of the fire that was down around Fillmore proper has moved on. So again, this is the fire that is burning on the ridge between Fillmore and Moore Park. We'll keep an eye on it all morning for you, but right now, a lot of active flame at this hour. That is not a good sign as the winds start to pick up later on today. That is the latest overhead Sky 5 HD. I'm Alex Calder. Megan, let's throw it down to you in the studio.
All right, Alex, thank you.